Everything Now, an interactive comedy show on Twitch where you, the viewers, are in control, featuring special guests from all over the Twitch community and the Los Angeles comedy scene. Enter a variety of wild scenarios with colorful characters and help steer the story in whatever direction you want. You can vote in polls to make choices, submit images over Twitter and Discord. You can pay to play sound effects.
Road ends in 100 feet.
What the f***?
It's your show too, friend. Hop on in and experience everything now.
All rise for the Honorable Me, Judge Learned Hand. Thank you. You may be seated. Welcome, folks.
Me too, Judge.
Yes. Well, actually, no, Bailiff. You should probably stay standing.
Oh.
You need to be ready in case there's danger.
I can be ready sitting down. Did you read our memo about getting stooled, maybe?
Yeah. I don't think we want you guys to be sitting. The whole idea is that you need to be ready to stop a threat.
But it's kind of halfway, so we can spring up, but we're still kind of sitting on a stool.
Well, if you're mostly standing, why even bother having a stool?
Why are you so against us having comfort?
I'm not against you having comfort. Look, we can't get into this right
now.
now.
My letter about having an iPad with some games on it.
Yeah, that's absolutely not allowed. That's a major distraction. Folks, if you're joining us tonight, that means that you, yes, you, the viewer at home, you are our jurors this evening. We've got a completely packed docket tonight of alleged criminals who are coming here to plead their case. I'm assuming that's boo criminals. I don't actually know what you're booing, but...
They're booing you and your OSHA violations.
Okay, well, take it up with another judge. If you're here, you're the jurors. You're going to be deciding the fate of these defendants as they come and take their place at the defendant stand. Looks like Brixton Janes was our last defendant. They'll be standing over there across from me. Why is judge not allowing the combination of stools? I feel like I pretty much covered that.
Motion to make the judge a nice guy for once, please.
Denied.
Oh, he got us. Fuck.
As part of our jury, you can also, jury duty again, that's right, go Gadget. Thank you for performing your civic duty. In addition to deciding whether or not these defendants are guilty of the crimes for which... I'm not sure what you're objecting to. The stools thing? If everybody wants stools, I'll get stools, but it's kind of too late, Timothy.
You said it.
We'll do it for the next one. We'll get stools for the next one. In addition to voting to determine the guilt of these defendants, you can also submit evidence during these trials, which can help persuade your fellow jurors one way or another. There's a variety of ways to do that. You can submit images in the Everything Now Show Discord, so if you haven't already, join the Discord. There should be a link in the chat. You can submit images. We'll display them here, just like this. Well, this one will be free. This one won't count, but Major Chaos is already triggering. But that's how it'll look, and that's how it'll sound. Here's some evidence that was submitted. I'm sure that was a crucial piece of evidence in some trial earlier. But yes, if you use the sound alerts like Major Chaos just did, you can trigger visual evidence to be displayed on the television. Major Chaos will wait until the first trial begins to display your visual evidence. You can also bring a witness to the witness stand for $5. Just donate $5 and let us know who you want to put on the stand. Something tells me we're going to raise that price at some point during tonight's proceedings, but for now it's $5. Donate $5 and tell us who you want to put on the witness stand. It could be a celebrity, a fictional character, ideally someone related to the crime in some way. But of course, it's not up to us, it's up to you, so let us know. And if you subscribe at any point this evening, you can submit written testimony. Here's what that'll look like. The real Hoss Shaw said last time, I have a message from a witness, Mac Plays, who states, oh, this is interesting, sort of testimony within testimony. Mac Plays states, he stole my Columbia House record CDs. And I'm sure that made a lot of sense during the last, during the last trial.
You just burped, Judge?
No, I threw up a little bit in my mouth. So, thank you. So if you subscribe, you can submit written testimony, and if we get 15 subscriptions, you'll notice in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen there, we'll head on down to the police academy for some firearm training. Yes, our boys in blue are pretty terrible at the old shooty. They could use your help training them how to use a gun. So if you subscribe, if we get 15 subscriptions, you get to shoot people. That is basically how it works, and we got a full docket tonight, so I want to jump right into this. If you wouldn't mind, jurors in the chat, reminding me, I seem to have misplaced the docket. I don't remember what this first defendant stands accused of. So, what was the crime? Again, if you could remind me, jurors, what did this first defendant allegedly do? Bragged about reading Ayn Rand, cyberbullying, hotboxing the confessional booth, he farted, stealing dead people's teeth, showing up very late, fax evasion. What is that? Beating a bear senselessly, eight secondhand. Yeah, that's just animal abuse. I feel like we have a broad one that kind of covers that. I think we're going to take stealing dead people's teeth. Yes, now obviously stealing teeth. Okay, let's not clap for the crime. Let's not clap for the crime, folks. No, this is bad. Big pop. Big pop for the crime. Let's all settle down, folks. Obviously, stealing teeth from anybody, living or dead, is a crime. But of course, stealing teeth from the dead is especially heinous, and we're booing crime?
They're booing crime.
Thank you. And that is the appropriate response to crime. Stealing teeth from the dead is an especially heinous crime because they cannot defend themselves. So this next defendant stands accused of just such a crime, but it'll be up to you to determine whether or not they actually did it. Defendant, please take your place at the podium and state your name for the record.
Hello, Judge. My name is Matt Eberflus. I am the current head coach of the Chicago Bears.
Oh, no. Sir, Mr. How do you say that again? Eberflus?
Eberflus.
Mr. Eberflus, do you understand the crimes for which you stand accused today?
I don't, but I'm guilty.
I'm sorry?
I don't quite understand the exact nature of what I'm accused of. I simply walked up to the courthouse. Thank you.
And please do not clap for the defendant. I understand that this is a public figure.
It's been a dry season in terms of applause for me, Judge. I don't know if you've heard, the Chicago Bears are not doing great.
That's my understanding is they're doing almost comically bad.
Yes. Twitter is a place that I can't go right
I
now.
wouldn't do that.
Yes.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. Mr. Eberflus, you said that you don't understand the crimes for which you stand accused, so let me just break it down for you. People are saying you stole a dead guy's teeth.
Absolutely.
Okay, well,
No question about it. Yes, I did it.
all right, well, sir.
Do you need me to sign something to that effect?
No. Mr. Eberflus, you understand that your Fifth Amendment right is to refuse to incriminate yourself, and I suggest maybe you take that tact here, because if you just say you did it, that's it, you're guilty, and then we're gonna, punish you.
I may be mixing some metaphors here, but I believe.
All right, well, let's put it to a vote.
Oh, yes, good. Let's jump right to it. I feel like admission is. I don't know if this is a well-used, well-trod expression, but I feel like admission is 90% of the law or something. I've just
That's what we're
agreed.
always
I'll
saying.
sign. I'll do whatever you need me to do. I'll produce a witness. I'm paid handsomely for the work that I do. I'd be happy to pay someone under the table to say that they saw me do it.
Well,
Judge,
no,
I think
that's.
he might have like a big secret strategy he's doing here.
He's playing 4D chess.
I would give this guy like 2 more years and see what he can do.
Oh, no, I think the sooner that I'm behind a big wall and away from every member of the Chicago
Is that
Bears
what you
fan
think
community-
prison is?
Well, here's my assumption. Anywhere that is away from the general public of the city of Chicago is a much safer place for me to be right this minute.
I see.
Yes.
I'm starting to understand your strategy here now, Mr. Eberflus. You want to be convicted so that you can be basically put under protection of the state behind bars. You feel
Absolutely.
you'll be safer than you would wandering the public streets of Chicago given your record as a coach.
Almost certainly, and if I'm put to death for my crimes, that's fine. I'm sure if I were put to death on the streets of Chicago, it would be a really painful experience, whereas I'm sure the state will be very lenient and kind to me as I expire.
Well, unfortunately, we have to do the painless version. Mr. Eberflus, the people have voted. I forget what the verdict was. What were the options?
The verdict was he said he did it, Judge.
Okay, well that's not particularly conclusive.
Sounds open and shut to me.
Mr. Eberflus, right, that's right, I forgot. Major Chaos, thanks for your reminder. We actually have 2 pieces of visual evidence, Mr. Eberflus, and now that I know that your strategy is actually to purposefully be convicted, I feel it's my duty here to give you a fair trial, whether you like it or not.
As long as it's not a screenshot of a tweet saying that my children should be treated like Benito Mussolini at the end of his time in office, then I don't care. Show me the image.
Let's have a look. Now, this to me appears to be
Oh my.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Dilbert traversing the grassy knoll sort of area of, what was that town?
Dallas.
Dallas, right, Dallas.
It's my understanding that shortly after this picture was taken, Dilbert's betrothed attempted to put his brains back in his head. I guess it was a really shocking time for her.
Yeah, that was a
She
dark
can't be
comment.
blamed, yeah. It's true, though.
Mr. Eberflus, how does that relate to your particular standing here in the court?
I feel sort of like a Dilbert figure myself.
Do you want to speak on that?
Yes, yes. My office, in this case, the Chicago Bears Stadium, is a very difficult place for me, filled with hijinks and I think a talking dog.
You think?
I do.
I guess if there is a talking dog, that would make you suspiciously like Dilbert.
I suppose it's a kind of talking dog. When I look at the Chicago Bears mascot, he starts to talk to me.
Right, but that's a bear.
Right, but it's kind of like a big dog, when you think about it. Bears are really just big dogs.
I'm not here to discuss whether or not dogs are bears, Mr. Eberflus. I'm here to pursue justice, and that's what we're going to be doing when we take another look at some visual evidence.
Interestingly enough, we did take an entire day of training camp and dedicate it to this very long, protracted discussion as to whether or not bears, ursine, Ursa, what's the Latin term for bear?
Ursa.
Ursa, yes.
Well, Ursa Minor is a constellation.
That's a constellation, you rube, you goofball. No, we had a big, long conversation about that as a
He's
team.
allowed to be mean to you, bailiff. I can't stop that. I guess decorum, please, Mr. Eberflus. Mr. Eberflus, we have to take a look at this next piece of visual evidence.
Do I get to spend more time in jail
If you're guilty, you can go to jail.
if I'm an incorrigible little cuss?
But if you didn't actually do this, Eberflus, if this is all just some sort of ruse to get out of your job, I can't, in good conscience, put you behind bars for something you didn't do. Anyway, let's look at this next piece of evidence. Now, what have we here?
This is a drawing. It looks like Orson Welles with a cheeseburger, a big cheeseburger that's at least twice the size of his head. And I thought tickled me, Judge. It's the first time I smiled in a very long time. Of course, being here is making me smile. Just the thought of being in solitary confinement away from a drunk 40-year-old Bears fan with 2 kids at home.
Well, there's not going to be any giant cheeseburgers where we put you, Mr. Eberflus, if we do find you guilty.
I'm guilty as sin. I'm guilty as can be, Judge.
Well,
please.
We're going to have to figure that out by speaking to a witness who, as I understand it, we're preparing to take the stand at this moment. I do want to give you an opportunity very quickly before we speak to this next witness, Mr. Eberflus, to take some questions from our jurors directly. So jurors in the jury box, and the jury box is right over there, Mr. Eberflus. If you have any questions for Mr. Eberflus, please go ahead and ask them now.
What is the Chicago Bears Stadium called, Matt? Thank you, Sadville PM, juror Sadville PM, for the question. I call it, or at least I did, home away from home. You see, me and the team, my boys, as I like to call them, they all feel like my sons in a way. Oftentimes, before and after games, we spend some time getting on the bus. We go to Baskin-Robbins. There's always the one player, the punter, who is desperate to go anywhere else.
You do know your football, coach. I gotta say,
He's a pro.
those of you those among us who doubt your knowledge of the game, considering your record, well, I'd like that. Name the rest of the positions, just so that you can prove to our jurors here that you know football.
Happy to do so. There's the one who throws it.
Quarterback.
Don't go filling my head with lies, you little silly
It's
head.
quarterback.
Oh. And there's, of course, the one who catches the thrown ball.
Wide receiver.
He runs fast, that one. Goodness me. Not as fast as he's supposed to, apparently, if I'm not mistaken.
Not in your case, no.
No.
Mr. Eberflus,
There's the guy who gets it handed to him, and he run through all the big guys standing along in a big line. there's the guys on both sides of the line, and the ones that are on the other side of the line that my team is on can be really quite mean. Have you noticed
The
this?
opposing team.
They'll push and shove.
Right. Mr. Eberflus, you've demonstrated your knowledge, I think, in a way that all of us now understand the nature of your understanding of the game of football. Let's go ahead now and speak to our witness, and then we can put this to a vote. Witness, please, if you wouldn't mind stating your name for the record, and do we have their chyron and microphone prepared?
Yes, we do.
Excellent. Let's go ahead and speak to them.
Hi, Judge. It's me, Dr. Hugh Jazzhole. Please don't make fun of my name.
I'm sorry, what was your name?
It's Dr. Jazzhole. Please don't make fun of my name. A lot of people like to do that. I don't appreciate it.
Why would someone make fun of your name, Dr. Jazzhole?
Not
What's there to
important.
make fun of?
I don't like this line of questioning. I'd like to focus on the matter at
Is it
hand,
because
if
it's
that's-
Eastern European or something?
No. People don't make fun of me for being Croatian. They make fun of me for something else, but I don't want to get into that right now.
There's nothing wrong with being Croatian, Mr. Jazzhole.
Thank you. I didn't think there was when I showed up today. I would love to speak on the topic at hand, if that's
Please
okay.
do.
I'm a dentist. I have medical records of every missing tooth in this town, and I can say with certainty that the defendant here does not have any of them. So he is innocent, and he should get to go back to whatever it is he was
I'm
doing.
sorry. You know every tooth in town, and you're aware of their whereabouts at any given time?
Yes, I have them.
You've got them.
Yes.
Well, how did you come to...
I'm not the one on trial here, Judge. The important thing is, this man is innocent. He should get to go back to whatever it is he was doing.
Oh, Jazzhole, sidebar. Sidebar, please.
Okay.
Could everyone else please cover up their ears? Can everyone cover up their... Judge? Thank you.
I can't cut away if I'm holding my
Okay,
ears.
who's going to cut away in his stead?
Bailiff, can
Someone
you...
at the
Bailiff, can you
he's
cut
gonna
away?
just walk
Roll it
over.
up.
He's gonna just walk
There's a
over.
button on your
There's a button
computer
on the
there.
computer
There
that
is?
does that.
Yeah.
I don't have to do the controller thing?
It's vMix.
Right. Who do you want me to cut
I'm
to?
just gonna...
Cut to the, perfect, thank you. There's the perfect.
Fine, we got it, Bailiff.
Jazzhole,
What's up?
I have,
Thanks, Bailiff.
I have,
Go.
No, I got... Fuck.
Hang on a minute.
We gotta move on. What?
Whoa! What's
Bailiff.
going on?
Bailiff,
got
don't do
options
that.
here,
That's
baby.
gonna make me sick. Don't, Bailiff.
Can I get out of here?
no, sidebar. Cover up your ears,
I'm
Judge.
covering them off screen. You can't see it, but I'm doing it.
Perfect. Okay, that's really gonna just, that's rocking my world right now, those transitions. How long have we had those?
You gotta say
Anyway,
what you're saying, man.
yes. Jazzhole, listen to me.
What's up?
I have an entire NFL football team's worth of Baskin-Robbins rewards points with your name on it, okay? I'll give you the
I don't
card.
like sweets.
Oh, the tooth.
Bad for your teeth.
Oh, this is the worst day of my life.
We should have never told the bailiff that he can control the camera from the computer.
Yeah,
Star Wars.
yeah. This is, oh God.
Okay, all right. What we had one other thing that we had to do, and then we got to move on. What?
All right,
what
I'm gonna
was
get
it?
out of here.
Evidence?
But this guy, I just want to again state, this guy doesn't have any missing teeth. He should return to whatever it is he was doing. He's an innocent man.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Thank you for that legitimately valuable testimony, Dr. Jazzhole. All right. What, bailiff? What happened? Did we have visual evidence or something?
Yep.
We did?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He came
well-
in at one point during that whole Michigas.
I was
Ba-
just doing a roller door.
Bailiff, if you have a moment for a sidebar, do you think we could?
Who me?
You're not allowed to sidebar with the bailiff, sir.
Bailiff, if I reached for your gun, do you think you would kill me?
We
And make
lost
it
all
quick.
our guns this morning.
Oh,
I took away their guns. What do we have here?
We
two
have
pieces
evidence.
two pieces of visual evidence.
I guess.
Bailiff, stop doing star transitions and tell me what
What's
the
this
fuck
one
is
do?
happening.
I see. I don't know what the content
All
of
right.
the battle
Catch up
will be.
on-
I'm putting up the visual evidence. I pray that there's something new on this television screen
there
when I
it
hit
is.
this button.
I do my work before I play.
All right, we got three of
Oh,
these.
gosh.
What is this?
I don't
oh
know.
well.
What is that? Mr. Eberflus,
Yes.
what are we looking at?
So, yeah. My first thought was, maybe we're doing so poorly because the team members that are signed on don't feel welcomed properly. And so I decided that
And
we would,
someone is objecting to that. Can you please give us the real answer, Mr. Eberflus? Don't pussyfoot around the issue.
Okay, it was my wife's idea, it wasn't mine,
Your wife's idea to do what?
to make care packages for all the new members of the team. And everyone would sit down, we could take a few Sundays in a row. Rather than studying tape, we'll sit down, we'll sort of get together, everyone will put in something that they feel is very important. And as it should happen, our wide receiver thought it would be very funny if we included.
And his name is
Matthew.
You guys are all on first name basis.
The reason
Someone's objecting to that.
The reason I hesitate.
What's his real name, Eberflus?
Well, the reason I hesitated is because we all have little pet names for each other.
And his is Matthew?
No, his nickname is Sweetfin because he's just a sucker for their
Judge, if I
tuna
could, there's not
balls.
one wide receiver on a football team.
I understand, but he was referencing
But
one
he's-
specific wide receiver.
Was he referencing DJ, Darnell, or Tyler?
Tyler, of course.
All right.
You call him Matthew?
We've
I call
got
him Matthew.
We've got. It's his pet name.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
got.
He looks a
more
lot like
evidence,
Matthew
and
Broderick.
We got to raise the price of that because we got to get through this.
Yeah, we
Mr.
gotta get
Eberflus,
through
shut
this.
the fuck up for a second. Let's go ahead. Bailiff, can I show the next piece of visual evidence? Great. And we've got two more after this. So
Okay, and then we can
just
decide
know
that I'm guilty.
Yeah, and then let's have the poll ready. Great. Mr. Eberflus, this appears to be a picture of what's this guy's name? Charlie Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how his face normally looks, or did they make it small? It's like right on the edge of believable.
No, one of our linebackers did that in Photoshop. We all thought it was really silly and funny.
Do you guys practice football at all?
No, not really.
Okay.
They all say they want to, but I just think, look, the biggest battle that we must overcome is our own minds, which is why I have written down here a number of affirmations taken straight from the works of Eckhart Tolle, and we just sit around and sort of trade them. We read them to each other.
Gosh, I wish we had time to hear some of those, but unfortunately we have to
Very
get
tender.
two more images, and then we need to end this thing. Let's have a look. It is when your friend with glasses takes off his glasses, and it's a panda, and then I think that's Hassan.
Yeah, that same linebacker made that meme. He was trying to make me feel better after last season, after we lost 14 of our 17 games. I would take my glasses off and he'd say, you know, coach, things are going rough for you, but you're a handsome little son of a gun.
Well, that's very sweet.
It was very sweet.
And we've got one
believe
more
that's
piece of
Hassan
visual
Piker, by the
evidence.
way.
Sure do, Your Honor.
And let's have a look at that. And this is yet another meme. This one says, doing this as I reach for a cop's pistol.
That's, hey, just think about that. If this doesn't work out for me, if I don't get put away for a very long time,
You're gonna do suicide by cop?
Yes.
Okay.
Judge, I hate to be this guy, but I think we have at least 2 written testimonies. We also have.
no.
All right. Well, let's
no.
let's prep the
No.
poll while this is happening. Do we have those ready to look at, bailiff?
Absolutely
Great. Let's have a look.
not. I said not, Your Honor.
Bailiff.
You didn't wait.
There's a lot going on.
You didn't wait.
While he's doing that, we can talk through one of my approaches to get the guys ready for the
You
big
do
game.
this with your grown men football players?
Yes, on Monday Night Football, I say, look who's here to join us, who's here for a little pep talk. It's Terry the Tackling Tiger.
All right. Shut the fuck up. We've got written testimony. Feedzak says, "Don't believe a single thing this person says." Wow. A bold and damning piece of testimony from Feedzak. How do you respond to that, Mr. Eberflus?
Further suicidal ideation?
Okay, that's going in the record.
Okay.
And bailiff, do we have that last piece of visual or written testimony?
That was only one.
Okay,
False alarm.
excellent.
Goddamn.
Let's have a look at that.
I've gotten it so that I can make it look like he's waving with my little pinky.
And how does that help you guys do football?
It doesn't.
Okay.
4D chess, Judge. This guy's cooking.
Go ahead, Judge.
All right, let's have a look at this last piece of visual evidence. And this is chocolate-covered pickle.
A Chicago delicacy.
Is it? I
Yes.
thought their whole thing was like deep dish pizza and hot dogs.
I wouldn't dare criticize it, of course, because I'm already on such thin ice with these folks out there. Someone said that they'd like to take a long bit of wire, tie it around my neck, just pull till I'm
Is
gone.
that because you're 0-2 on the season so far?
0-3, but last year we only won 3 games.
Yeah, and they just lost in front of Taylor Swift, which counts as like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
All right, I
That
think
does count as 3 or 4 losses for sure.
I think we're good on the vote. Let's go ahead and close out that poll. Mr. Eberflus, for the crime of stealing dead people's teeth, a topic which we so barely discussed during the this entire trial.
I did do it though, so I mean,
The jurors-
what more is there to say?
The jurors have entered their verdict, and they find you guilty. Bailiff, get me
I
off
was
the
trying to be dramatic.
Get me off
Your
the
Honor.
screen. You gotta warn me when you're gonna do that. Mr. Eberflus.
Bye-bye.
No, we have to. You don't get to leave. We have to determine your punishment. What is the punishment? Imprisoned with 85 bears or the 85 bears? Sadville PM. Death by cop, says Theo from Even. It seems like he wants that, Theo. So I don't think we should do that.
Oh no, I don't want it. Oh no, no.
Put all the teeth back.
No, don't do that to me. No. Pretty please.
Fire
Don't do it.
everyone. Put the teeth in his mouth. Okay.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Okay.
But he doesn't. We established he doesn't have it.
Well, no. Technically, we established he does have them because he's guilty, even though
Yes.
all of the evidence seemed to contradict that finding.
Right.
So I guess we'll go to that Dr. Ass. What was his name?
Jazz hole.
Right. We'll go to Dr. Jazzhole, we'll get all those teeth, and we'll surgically implant them into Mr. Eberflus's mouth. Mr. Eberflus, your sentence has been decreed. Please exit and go to your teeth surgery.
So I'm still expected to coach the Chicago Bears?
Yes, you'll have to continue to coach the college, or the Chicago Bears, but with probably close to 500 teeth in your mouth.
The system works.
The system works. Farewell, Mr. Eberflus.
Okay,
And-
I'll take that gun now, thank you.
No, bailiff.
You already took our guns this morning, Judge.
That's right, we don't have any guns in
Even
here
if I
anymore.
wanted to give him the gun so he can shoot himself, I
Folks,
don't know where it is.
Big Bright Ship said it better than I could. Ouchie Wawa. That's exactly how I feel when I have to put somebody behind bars, or in this case, surgically implant hundreds of teeth into their mouth. But then I remember that they're a criminal and they deserve it. Thank you for helping us instill some justice into this community, and we'll be doing that again in just a moment with our next defendant. Thank you, Theo, for the subscription. We've now got 3 subscriptions, which means we're only 12 away from hitting our goal. And if we do, we'll head on down to the police station where you will get to shoot people. And we can take out Chihuahua off the screen.
Leave it up for the rest of the show.
Let's not do that. I'll remind everybody. Actually, I don't think I need to remind anybody that you can submit evidence. You guys seem fully aware that that is something that you can do. So if you want to keep doing it, go ahead. You can also call a witness for $5. We had Dr. Jazzhole give what was probably the only valuable piece of testimony during that last trial. So if we could get some more, and thank you for more Ouchiwawas. But folks, it's time now to move on to our next trial. And as I mentioned earlier, I've forgotten my docket back in my chambers, and so I could use your help reminding me what it is that this next defendant stands accused of. What did they allegedly do? Poisoning the hot dogs? Ouchiwawa? Okay, not a crime. Stealing leaves from the park, soliciting an unsolicited dick pic. That seems sort of contradictory. Swashbuckling, fleecing a shepherd, 2 in the urinal.
I think we've done that.
I think yeah, that does sound like something we've done before.
Also South Park, I'm pretty sure.
That's the point, says Laser Lady. Noted. Petting dogs without asking, stealing sheep, a lot of sheep-related stuff tonight. Shopped at GameStop, attacked shadow people. Excessive dandruff, not juggling even number balls, cheating in Fortnite. Let's take cheating in Fortnite. I like that. Thank you, Brando, for the reminder. Yes. Now, it's important to have competitive integrity in this jurisdiction. We all know that it's illegal to take performance-enhancing drugs if you were to play a traditional sport like baseball or polo. But sometimes people find ways to cheat even in esports like Fortnite. This next defendant stands accused of just such a crime. They've cheated in a video game, and how they were able to do that, well, we'll just have to figure that out through the process of evidence and good old-fashioned, what is it called? I guess interviewing. Let's bring out our second defendant of the night, who stands accused of cheating at Fortnite. Defendant, you can take your place at the podium. Go ahead. And if you wouldn't mind, state your name for the record.
Hi, I'm Gus Van Sant.
Gus Van Sant.
Scent?
Gus Van Sant. And should I call you Mr. Van Sant or Mr. Sant?
Van Gus?
I'm sorry?
Gus Van?
Van Gus.
Van Gus.
Scent.
Gus,
Yes.
do you understand? Big pop for Gus. And again, I need to remind everybody, please do not clap for the defendant. Mr. Van Sant, did you bring people with you here to witness your trial today?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure if that was a yes or was that an answer in the affirmative or the negative?
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like you're saying nah.
No, I'm not. I am agreeing with you.
You're agreeing. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're saying yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The bailiff caught that right away. Mr. Van Sant, it's fine to bring family and friends to observe the proceedings. I just, if you wouldn't mind asking them not to applaud during the proceedings, we try to keep it a neutral environment. Okay. Mr. Van Sant, do you understand the crimes for which you stand accused today?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and again, I need to just clarify for the record that that is an answer in the affirmative.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're getting a boo. I should be clear here. No clapping for the defendant, and also please don't boo. This is not, we're not...
Booing saying, I'll clap for the defendant if I want.
Okay, they're booing so that they can clap?
Yeah.
First Amendment.
Are you in... Mr. Van Sant, I know there's not an elevator behind the podium. Mr. Van Sant, I'm intimately familiar.
How do you do that?
No, bailiff, that's a visual, an optical illusion.
Like that?
Yes. Mr. Van Sant, hiding from me is not going to delay justice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Guy's giving goofball, Judge.
I'm noticing that, bailiff.
This guy's goofball coded.
We have to get into the trial itself, and I couldn't think of a better way to do that than to bring a witness who can offer some interesting testimony. But before we do that, Mr. Van Sant, I'm going to need you to first of all acknowledge that you stand accused of the crime of cheating in Fortnite. And can we get that crime added to his case file, bailiff?
I'm on it.
Mr. Van Sant, okay, we gotta stop with that. We gotta stop with that. So I got the thing over here, I'm cutting over here, and then all of a sudden, we're wiping, we're rotating.
Yeah.
Mr. Van Sant, are you on the phone? Oh, okay, that one got me. All right, I know that there's no elevator, but that one, you did get me on that. Mr. Van Sant. Mr. Van Sant, you stand accused of the crime of cheating in Fortnite. Are you familiar with the video game Fortnite? Mr. Van Sant, I know those aren't binoculars, those are your hands. Okay, that one didn't get me.
Yes, I know Fortnite.
Okay, and can you, for some of our jurors who may not be familiar with the game, describe what it is and how it works?
Fortnite is a video game.
What was that? Hold on. I'm going to stop you right there, Mr. Van Sant. What is it? What was that you were just miming?
A video game?
To me, and maybe I'm showing my age here, Mr. Van Sant, but to me it almost seemed like you were miming playing a very small violin. Actually, a normal-sized violin.
No, I love playing video games in my bedroom. And
Okay, the second one almost did seem like playing video games. But you
My
said
bedroom?
bedroom.
my bedroom. That's where I play my video games.
Okay. Maybe I'm getting confused here. We've got a witness who might be able to clarify some of this stuff for us. Bailiff, are we ready to speak to our witness? Do we have his Chiron ready and his microphone on?
Yes, we do.
All right, let's have a look. Witness, please state your name for the record.
Hey, Judge, it's me, Ninja.
Hey, Ninja!
Oh. You two,
What's up, dude?
You two know each other.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Ninja, would you mind describing the nature of your relationship with our defendant?
This guy's a good friend of mine.
Oh, you guys are friends.
Yeah.
Ninja!
No, dude, come on. You are.
Now, Mr. Van Sant seems surprised by that. Mr. Van Sant, what is it that surprises you about that?
Well, I've just never heard it before.
Sometimes I'll have Ninja over to my giant mansion.
You're a ninja.
Well, I'm sorry. I'll have Gus over to my giant mansion, and we'll eat.
That's so ninja to do that.
We'll eat 3-hour-old Taco Bell that I had brought to the place.
Now you're a multimillionaire, right?
Yes. But my wife and I will eat like 4 servings worth of Taco Bell for dinner every night.
I see. And you invite the defendant, Gus Van Sant, over. Gus Van Sant for that.
Sant!
Sorry. My apologies, Mr. Van Sant.
Yeah, I mean, just between you and me, I don't want this to get out, but like he's actually been a big influence on me in my gaming. Like he helps,
Oh, really?
Yeah, he helps me a lot.
And how does Mr. Van Sant help you in gaming?
Just like gives me good tricks and like sort
Click
of
there!
Mr.
Yeah.
Van Sant, yeah. I was just about to ask, Mr. Van Sant, could you maybe testify as to some of the advice that you gave professional video game player Ninja?
Yeah. So if I'm watching him, I'll be like, push A!
Can you describe a circumstance where it might be appropriate to push A?
If you want to like go forward.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that's B!
It's okay. It's okay. You're doing great. You're doing great, dude.
Ninja, maybe I can see Mr. Van Sant seems to be a little nervous about testifying. Mr. Van Sant, please, it's fine. You don't
He
have to
gets
get
nervous,
emotional.
Judge, but he's really good. Sometimes I'm just staring at the screen, slack-jawed, and when he says press A, I go, oh, right, yeah, Fortnite, and I start playing it.
And you say Fortnite out loud.
Yeah.
Got it.
They
Okay.
love that.
They love that?
All the people who watch. There's an army of 2 million like teenagers who are ready to kill on my command, Judge.
I see. Well, Ninja, thank you so much for that valuable testimony. You've definitely confirmed that our defendant, Mr. Van Sant, does in fact play the game of Fortnite. Really quick before we let you go. Well, now, Mr. Van
I
Sant,
told you I play Fortnite.
you did say that. Had you not, it would have been a pretty good defense for cheating in Fortnite. But in any event, Ninja, we're going to let you go. Is there any other testimony you want to add to the record before we let you leave?
No, that's it. I think I'm going to go drink 3 Powerades, which is the only thing I get any kind of hydration from.
Okay, thank you. Notoriously not a water drinker, Ninja the video game player. All right, Mr. Van Sant, we do have a bit of written testimony here submitted by... I'm sorry, are you mocking me?
No.
Was that supposed to be me? Were you saying that my stutter was like you doing like a DJ scratch?
Yeah.
Okay, that was actually kind of funny. But please, Mr. Van Sant, we have to be serious here because there are high crimes accused, and frankly, this is no laughing matter.
I know, and I play Fortnite honorably.
Okay. Well, we have some written testimony here that may say otherwise. Let's have a look at that. First of all, Thea from Eden says, straight bustin' no cap, my mans did nothing wrong on fucking God, bro. Well, it seems like someone's in your corner, Mr. Van Sant.
Yes, thank you. I when I play the game Fortnite, I build forts and I win.
Well, some people, it's okay. And again, please,
Thanks, Mom.
Please do not. That's your mother clapping?
She's in the jury.
Mrs. Vance. All right. Well, clearly it's a conflict of interest to have the defendant's mother in the jury box. Can we have her removed? Because she's gonna say you're not guilty, obviously.
No, she tells it like it is.
Okay. Well, if you can assure us that that's the case, hope maybe we'll get her to testify. In any event, we've got another piece of written testimony here. Let's have a look at that. It was Walla Walla Man who said, Gus and I run duos, and he's literally freaking cracked. Now, we don't have Walla Walla Man on the stand to elaborate on how it is that they consider you to be cracked, but Mr. Van Sant, obviously you said you win a lot, maybe a suspicious amount. What is it exactly that you do to win those games, if not cheating?
I just press AABB up, and then I am on the camera, looking at my other players. And
Now, when you're putting your hand in your ear, what are you expecting to hear?
No, I just see my other player. Sorry, I
This is a hand signal, and commonly used among gamers at the highest level hand signals, I understand.
No, I just talk with my hands wrong.
Okay. I guess I misinterpreted that. So you're saying that you press A, B, B, up, down, and then you get on the camera to see your other players.
And then, we help each other build forts.
Mr. Van Sant, I feel the need to remind you that this is not a game of charades, it's a criminal trial.
I'm well aware of that.
Okay, just wanted to let you know. We've got another witness here who is going to be offering some testimony, hopefully something that can clear up some of the confusion we have tonight in the court. Bailiff, are we ready to speak with this with this witness?
Yeah.
All right. Witness, if you wouldn't mind please stating your name for the record.
Yes, my name's Celine Van Sant.
Mrs. Van Sant.
Yeah.
Do I understand right that you're Mr. Van Sant's mother?
No, I'm actually his wife.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Rude.
Mrs. Van Sant is in the jury box.
I know. I saw someone had mentioned that earlier. Okay, that.
Mom!
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. What was that? I know. That's on me. That's on me. I apologize, Mrs. Van Sant. I am so sorry for that. You are the wife of the accused.
Yeah.
My wife.
Yeah.
It was perfect, sweetie. Perfect.
Gus, stop. You're embarrassing me.
Mrs. Van Sant, you understand that your husband stands accused today of cheating in Fortnite.
Yes, and I'm absolutely horrified.
Okay, well, that is frankly the correct feeling of...
Because he would never do it.
Oh, okay.
Where do you think I met him? On Fortnite?
You met on Fortnite?
Yes.
Could you maybe elaborate on that? Explain the nature of that interaction?
Mm-hmm. Picture this. You're me. You've been locked in your house for many years. You talk to people online. You talk to them on Fortnite when you're building forts like the game requires.
See? Exactly.
You meet a man. You're not sure how old he is, but you know you're in love with him. He says, your name's Celine, so is my mom's. He asks how old you are. You say 28. He says, so is my mom. You strike up a romance. 7 years pass. Here we are. He'd never cheat.
Well, that is some pretty powerful testimony,
Thank you.
Mrs. Van Sant. But what is it that makes you so sure your husband would never cheat?
Well, the fort we built is strong, I would say, Gus, I keep would you say I keep a hawk's eye on you, honey?
Yeah.
I keep a hawk's eye on him. And he would certainly never cheat, because if he did, I would see, because I have his room just packed to the gills with baby monitors. If I leave the house...
She does.
Yeah, and he's screen share there. Don't boo me. I'm right to do it.
Yes, please, decorum. Okay, hey, listen. What you do in your husband's bedroom is your own business, Mrs. Van Sant.
Thank you. I know that.
Okay, great. Your testimony is valuable. Is there any other testimony you'd like to add to the record before we let you go?
Gus, do you want to tell him that hilarious story?
So you want to tee up your husband to add some testimony?
He's just really funny, and I think you're really gonna love the story.
So I was building a fort.
Oh my God.
And it was fort day. I was building in the day.
Mm-hmm. Every day's fort day.
And she was inside, and once the door was up, I went, knock, knock.
And I was like, who's there?
And I was like, Amanda.
And I said, well, Amanda who, Gus?
And I went, Amanda Knox.
Jesus Christ.
And then I laughed because she killed my sister in Italy. Isn't that
Wow, that is...
Isn't that a lot of court experience?
And someone is objecting to, I guess, that story being entered into the record and sustained. Thank you, Mrs. Van Sant. I think we got all the testimony we needed from you. I really appreciate that.
All right, Mom's rooting for you.
I know.
Yeah.
All right.
Drive her home, please. She's drunk.
She's really sick.
Okay.
Mr. We got evidence.
What type of evidence?
Visual.
Visual evidence. Mr. Van Sant, somebody submitted some visual evidence. I'm going to display it on this television, and I'd like for you to explain what it is we're looking at.
Okay.
Let's see here. Now, this seems just weirdly normal. What are we looking at here, Mr. Van Sant?
That's me and my sister Eliza. We are starting our journey into building forts at a very young age with our Cabbage Patch kids. She had a daughter, I had a son, and they were the first ones to live in our first fort.
Wow. Fortnighting from...
It was Fort Dusk.
I see. This was prior to Fortnite. The alpha version of the video game, I take it. It seems like you've been playing this game for a very long time, Mr. Van Sant. It seems like you know all the ins and outs, and if there were any way to cheat in this game, you'd be the one to know.
Well, I never cheat. Never cheat.
Mr. Van Sant, I am aware that there is not a river behind that podium. I'm intimately familiar with the geography of this courtroom.
Do the escalator, sweetie.
It's a sickness. I talk with my hands wrong.
It was fluid.
Whoa. Mr. Van Sant, please stay behind your podium. Mr. Van Sant, we do have one more witness that we need to talk to here before we allow our jurors to make their final decision as to your guilt. So I'm going to bring them to the stand now and give them an opportunity to speak. Bailiff, are we prepared to speak to this
Unfortunately,
witness?
yes, Judge.
Okay, love that intro. Witness, please state your name for the record.
Yeah, I know. I just want to make sure that my
my
voice is gonna be like pitched down or something.
Witness, can you sit up straight so that you're not being cropped out?
Yeah,
Thank
Your
you.
Honor, sorry.
Can you? I'm sorry. You wanted your voice to be altered.
Can you like pitch my voice down?
We already have a Chiron saying your name, sir.
I'll fix it, Judge.
Your anonymity has sort of been destroyed.
Okay. I'm Eric Cartman.
All right, Eric Cartman is on the stand from South Park.
Sure.
Mr. Cartman, are you familiar with the defendant?
Yes, I referee Fortnite matches, and I'm sorry, I have to say, I was there, I saw it firsthand, and unfortunately, the guy here, he did it, he cheated. I never seen anybody build a fort that quick. I never seen anyone build a fort that quick, and I gotta say that he was using build assists.
Seems like there's maybe an earthquake happening in our courtroom right now.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Everybody, remain calm.
Oh my God!
All right, it's over. It's not happening
It's
anymore.
still going behind me.
Okay.
The aftershock.
Appears to be an isolated earthquake to just the other side of the room.
Oh!
All right, Mr. Van Sant. I know that there's not an isolated earthquake or a river or an escalator or an elevator behind that podium, sir.
I know.
Okay. So
He's doing the dance he did after he built those forts.
Okay. Well, Cartman, your testimony is frankly damning. I don't think we need to hear any more from you.
Respect my authority.
Great. Okay, that's perfect. Thank you, Mr. Cartman. Mr. Van Sant, I'm going to give you an opportunity to answer some questions now directly from our jurors, and then they're going to have an opportunity to vote as to your guilt. So if you take a look right here at the jurors box, there will be some questions populating that in a moment. Go ahead and answer them to the best of your ability. Jurors in the juror box, if you have any questions for Mr. Van Sant, now's the time to ask them. So go ahead, if you see a question that sticks out to you, Mr. Van Sant, just read it and answer it.
How do I know Cartman? I met him. He was running away from home. I saw him on the highway, and I offered to give him a ride back home, and I took him back home. And he asked me to play Fortnite, so I did with him, and I beat him.
Seems like a potential conflict of interest to be giving a ride home to the person who is the referee of the esport that you're playing, Mr. Van Sant.
Just a coincidence. Just a weird, lucky coincidence.
All right. Well, it seems like we've already opened up the poll for our jurors to decide your guilt. But if you have any closing statements you'd like to make, Mr. Van Sant, to try to turn the tide in this last and final hour, go ahead and make those now. I swear that I never, cheated. I never
lie about anything.
Was that a piccolo?
A flute. I only, like to play.
What is that? Come on.
Clearly drums.
It's
Drums, Judge, come on.
It could have been maracas.
What?
They are
Might have been
drums.
Why would they
drums.
be so low?
What do you mean
No one
low?
shakes maracas so horizontally, Judge.
All right.
That's maracas.
Okay.
Obviously.
I am innocent, and I would like the jury of my peers and mom to see that through. And know that I wish to continue playing Fortnite into the next day.
Well, Mr. Van Sant, we're going to be... It's a truly moving statement and sentiment, and we'll see now whether or not... Nope! Looks like you were not able to persuade our jurors as to your innocence. Mr. Van Sant, as to the crime of cheating in Fortnite, our jurors have entered a verdict and they find you guilty.
Yeah.
Mr. Van Sant, the only thing left to do now is to determine your punishment. Do you have anything you'd like to say to the people who have just determined your guilt? Anything as we now move into the punishment phase of this proceeding? Anything that you want to say to them that might, make them go a little bit easy on you?
You haven't stopped me from building forts. I'm still gonna build those forts. Oh yeah, I'll be building forts all over you. All over your town, all over your basketball courts. Forts, forts, forts.
Okay, typically defendants use that time to apologize and acknowledge their crimes.
I'm sorry about it.
Pretend you're inside of an invisible box, sweetie.
Oh, this fort has 4 walls. And a ceiling. It's a good fort. And a front door. Someone's cooking.
No remorse, says Big Bright Chip, and I couldn't agree more, which is why we're going to be taking the suggestion from, let's see, we're going to combine sentence him to being homeless. Well, I don't know. That feels a little dark. Mime execution. Wow, that's a great one. Yes. Thank you, Mellow D. We're going to take that suggestion. Mr. Van Sant, for the crime of cheating in Fortnite, we will be doing a mimed execution on you.
Alrighty.
Okay, you're supposed to be upset by that.
No, don't mime shoot me.
Perfect. All right, Mr. Van Sant, please, you can exit the room and prepare for your mime execution.
Just take the stairs down.
Yes, just take the stairs down and do not go out the door that just leads onto the street, okay? You have to go get your punishment.
I will.
Okay. All right, we're gonna have to take you at your word.
All right.
Goodbye.
I'm leaving now.
Okay, please do. Don't walk up. Don't go out on the street. The door is wide. Ah, you son of a bailiff!
Oh no!
Whoa! 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 How did he do that?
She choppered out of here.
That was crazy. What is happening, bailiff?
I figured out how to attach a transition to the slider.
Stop doing that.
Let us express ourselves.
That looks crazy. Get a hobby. Don't express yourself this
took my iPad
way.
away. You said I couldn't play Uno on it.
And our guns.
Do that after work, folks.
Judge, I also just want to get this out real quick.
What's that?
Someone paid $1 and we have permanently executed Cartman in universe.
Oh, okay,
He's
great.
dead. He will never come back.
Canonically dead.
Canonically dead. Any money spent to show Cartman or hear Cartman will be ignored.
Please don't make that poor Filipino man do Cartman again.
Okay. Well, you heard it here first. For $1, you can completely eliminate a character from this universe.
Just Cartman.
Just Cartman, Judge.
Just Cartman. Just Cartman. $2 to reincarnate?
No.
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 No. No. $1,000.
Yeah, there we go.
$1,000 and we'll
Yeah.
and we'll bring Cartman back. Folks, if you're just joining us, my name is Judge Learned Hand, and you, the viewer at home, are our jurors this evening as I preside with your help over a series of alleged crimes that have been committed and the trials related to those crimes. Now, As jurors tonight, you'll of course be able to vote to decide the guilt of these alleged criminals, but you can also submit evidence in a variety of ways. Visually on our television screen here by joining the Everything Now Show Discord. There's a link in the chat. It's free. Submit images. You might see yours on that TV tonight. And of course, you can also call a witness to the stand. It could be, I was going to say it could be Cartman, but now it can't. But it could be the defendant's wife. It could be a doctor whose name sounds like asshole. It could be anybody you like, just not Cartman. Donate $5, we'll bring them to the stand. And we're only now, 11 subscriptions away from hitting our goal. If we do that, you'll get to shoot people on the show. So get those 11 subscriptions in. If you subscribe, you can also submit written testimony. But we got to keep this thing moving, folks, because we've got some other trials that we need to preside over. So let's go ahead, and if you wouldn't mind, jurors, remind me what this next defendant stands accused of. I forgot my docket back in my chambers.
Your Honor, you know those glasses that have the string on them so you never forget them?
Oh, yeah, the things that go around your neck.
Do you want those for your docket?
That'd probably hurt my neck. It's very big and heavy. Maybe if we could do like a... if I could just have it on my phone.
Oh.
Can we do that? Like a PDF?
I guess maybe then we can do bailiff stuff on iPads.
No.
Games on
No, games is very different than...
Road
all
Disney.
Right. Illegally brought fruit into the country, spreading the Black Plague, impersonation of a garbage man. Aiden Wood, whoa, that's a throwback name.
Where?
Welcome in, juror Aiden Wood. It's been a minute. Welcome back. Let's take that suggestion. Aiden Wood, an OG juror. Thank you for that suggestion. Impersonation. Now, frankly, typical impersonation charges come with people impersonating people of high status. Diplomats, police officers, people with power. But sometimes people impersonate a garbage man. Now, some people might say, well, that's a low status person, until you remember that these people control an important piece of our infrastructure here in New York. Yes, what some might call the lowly garbage man is actually someone who holds quite a significant amount of power because they know what you're throwing out. And that could be a pretty big deal. So, this next defendant stands accused of just such a crime, impersonation of a garbage man. Let's go ahead and see whether or not they did this crime. Defendant, please take your place at the podium, and if you wouldn't mind stating your name for the record.
Hi, it is like my name is Gulaf.
I'm sorry, could you say that again? I don't know if
I am saying that, like, for the record, what you are saying is that my name is like Gulaf?
Your name is like Gulaf?
Well, okay, so you're asking me, like, about names and things of this nature, and I'm telling you that my name, for you, at this moment, like, if you want to know it, it is Gulaf.
I'm asking for your name at all moments, all of the time, not right. What is your legal name, sir?
Okay, great. So you want to know, like, what it is like when I'm calling myself, like when I'm talking to people and talking to judge in courtroom? Then I would say that when I'm saying these things, it is Gulaf.
All right. We're gonna stick with Gulaf. Gulaf, is that Mr. Gulaf?
Gulaf.
Okay, we'll just stick with Gulaf. Gulaf, do you understand the nature of the crimes for which you stand accused today?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, then we don't have to go ahead and explain that. Now, sir, as you understand, you've been accused of impersonating a garbage man. Do you have any thoughts as to why someone might have accused you of such a crime?
Okay, it is like there's garbage that people put on the street, but also there's like garbage that people are putting like in cans, like in a receptacle inside of kitchen and other place inside of house.
Sure, I can understand that garbage goes in different places, Gulaf, but my question for you is, why would somebody think that guy's pretending to be a garbage man?
Oh, there are many different occupation in country that is United States, and for some it is they get on back of garbage truck and they ride around, and it is very cool, and they grab a truck and then they go inside and there's trash there. And sometimes I am on street as well, and I am doing my thing like walking around, or perhaps I'm looking at car or I'm looking at tree.
I see. So you're saying, and let me make sure I understand this right, that sometimes you're just out and about doing your thing, like looking at a car or looking at a tree, and while that's happening, someone might mistakenly think that you are on the back of a garbage truck throwing garbage into the truck.
Okay.
I don't want to put your defense together for you, Gulaf. I'm just trying to make sure I understand what it is that you're saying. Is that an accurate summation of your testimony?
Okay.
All right, Mr. Gulaf, there were some witnesses at the scene who said that you were wearing a jumpsuit very similar to the type that is traditionally worn by the sanitation workers in this jurisdiction. Why would it be that you were wearing such a jumpsuit?
Okay, so when it is I am like waking up like for daytime, you know, there are very many things to pick out of closet if like you are to wear clothes when you go outside, for naked is not for what is being allowed when you are in society and doing civilized nation stuff. So when I am putting on shirt and pant, you know, there are very many different options when it comes down to going outside and being a clothing wearing person, as they say.
I'm not sure they say that. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that.
Okay, so maybe you need for me to like repeat what I said. So when you are like waking up and you need to approach what is called daytime activity for going outside and doing errand or running around finding different activity, you need to go to, say, what they are calling like closet, not like water closet, but like land closet, and then you find different clothing to put upon. Some put clothing upon torso, but also other people putting clothing upon leg.
Gulaf, I'm familiar with the concept of clothing. I guess what I'm saying is the type of clothing that you chose specifically on this day was a jumpsuit with the insignia of our sanitation department on it. Now, that's not typically the type of clothing that someone would do to put on to, as you say, doing an errand or finding an activity.
Oh, well, some people, if they are to wear suit, they could jump into it, but other people, they put it around shoulder, or they use button to fasten so that they can keep suit on. But I guess for others, jumping is an option, as they say, for wearing suit.
Okay, I think the jumpsuit is not referring to how you put on the clothes. It's just, actually, I don't know why.
That's how I do it, Judge.
What's that?
That's how I do it.
You literally jump into your clothes?
I attach it with strings and I'd leap off my bed and fall into my entire outfit in one swoop.
Wow.
Got a whole Rube Goldberg thing going on.
Okay,
Really cool.
that sounds really complicated.
Like I am saying, very many people jump into suit, as you can see, for example.
Very many.
All right, well, touche. I guess maybe I'm not with the times.
Well, so that means I can leave?
No. No, Gulaf. No, we are still trying to get to the bottom of this case. And reminder, jurors, if you have any evidence related to this case, you can submit that. That might help focus this a bit. But anyway, Gulaf, let's say, hypothetically, that you were impersonating one of our garbage men. What would someone like you stand to gain from such an impersonation?
So if we are talking of like hypothetical nature, it is possible that if I am garbage man, I could have like a very pretty tall wife who could like be mean to me at times when I want her to be mean to me, but other times when I need her to be kind and courteous, she could be that as well, for example.
I'm not sure I follow, Gulaf. What is it specifically about being a garbage man that would enable you to have a tall wife?
Well, some garbage man have a wife that is small, but other garbage man might have wife that is very big and domineering, but also is nice when you need her to be, but mean on other time. So if you're a garbage man and you are like talking to like big wife and she's like very big, that could be like an exciting time.
Sounds like you're speaking of a specific fantasy or fetish, Gulaf.
I don't know that what this word is that you call fetish, but very many time I do think of and perhaps even draw a picture of large woman stepping upon my body.
Okay. All right. Well, and
We've all been there, Judge.
Big pop for size plate. Now, Gulaf, I feel like we're getting into the weeds a little bit here. We're moving away from the actual accusation here, which is, of course, impersonation. Now, I don't have your criminal record in front of me right here, but seeing as you're under oath, if you wouldn't mind answering truthfully if you have a history of impersonation or any other fraudulent crimes of that nature.
Okay.
I guess, sorry, maybe you didn't understand the question. Have you ever been accused of impersonating or otherwise lying, doing fraud in the past?
Oh, for very many people to do fraud is one of the things they do for gaining of like money and currency so that they can have it. But for me, fraud is kind of more of like a state of like what they call mental like mind, So if you're doing fraud, then I'm here to say that like that isn't like what I am about. But for many others, that is okay if that is what they find to be their passion.
You're saying that fraud is more of like a mindset for you?
For some people, they wake up and they do like hustle, as they do grind. For others, it could be the case that they wake up and do fraud.
And is that you? Are you saying that's your mindset?
Oh, my name is Gulov.
Right. Okay. I see. Okay.
Right.
You guys are just catching up on that, Bailiff?
Yeah, he's such a poet the way he talks.
He certainly does have an interesting way of speaking. Gulov, where is it that you're from?
Oh, I am from Canada.
Oh. Wow. Okay. That's not where I would have placed that accent.
Where would you have placed it, Judge?
I don't know. Not Canada.
It's just for very many years of life. That is where I am being. It is what they call a country that is north of United States.
Sure, I'm familiar with the country of Canada. You're saying that many of the years of your life you lived there. Did you live somewhere before that?
Oh, no.
Okay. All right. Well. I suppose it's not necessarily actually, that is potentially relevant. Are you currently a citizen of New York?
Oh, so for very, very many years, I am living in Canada, but other time I go to other place for if there needs to be hiding, but there also needs to be having life and work in doing work-life balance.
I'm sorry, you said you sometimes go to other places to be hiding?
Yes, for very many years, if people are needing to find me for nefarious reason, then yes, I'm going into hiding.
And could you describe perhaps one of the nefarious reasons for which you need to go into international hiding?
Fraud.
Okay, all right, well. Please do not clap for fraud. Please do not clap really almost in any situation during tonight's proceedings, but especially not for fraud. And Bailiff, I expect better from you specifically.
I can't help but admire his candor.
All right, well.
Excitable.
I just like the Quebecois people.
Okay. Gulov.
Yeah. What? What?
Gulov,
yeah?
You seem like a nice guy.
Okay.
It seems like maybe you had some misunderstanding of the law, and although that is technically not a defense for breaking it, it could potentially make our jurors a little bit more lenient. Now, you are primarily residing in Canada. Do you have familiarity with the New York legal system at all?
Oh yeah, so for legal reasons, there are going to be there will be law, like they call like code of law, and sometimes there is going to be arrest, and there is prison for some, but for others they get to be like government, like mayor.
Unfortunately, that is kind of how our system works, where if you commit a crime, you will either be sent to jail or become a public official. Do you have any political aspirations, Gulov?
Oh, for me, I don't know. Many time I want to be like rock and roll artist, but then other time it is like I do want to be what they call a comptroller. That seems like very cool.
Comptroller, what's your understanding of what a comptroller does?
Oh, so when there is comp to be trolled, you have to get what is called a comptroller to then take care of that activity so that you can troll in a comp fashion or way, for example.
Nailed it. Well, Gulov, I'm sorry, so what is it? I don't know if we ever got this. What is it that you actually do? We know you're not a garbage man. What is it that you actually do for a living?
Imagine.
I'm sorry, imagine what?
Dragons.
You're in the
Imagine Dragons.
Can we clap, Judge?
All right. Soft pop for Imagine Dragons, I will allow. I'm sorry, am I understanding correctly that you're saying you're in the band The Imagine Dragons?
Oh, no, I imagine dragons.
Your profession is, you're what, like a writer or an illustrator? You come up with dragons for film and television or something?
Oh, you could say that.
Okay, let's say that I am saying that. Is that the truth?
Okay.
Mr. Guloff, I don't need to remind you that you're under oath here today, and so we expect you to answer these questions truthfully.
Okay, so I do imagine like very many type of dragon. Like some dragon is green and very ferocious, but other time dragon could be red and small and perhaps even like a little bit funny.
And people are paying you for these ideas?
What?
Is this your profession, Mr. Guloff? Is this do you go to somebody and say, imagine if a dragon was green, and then they give you money?
Oh yeah, I do that almost like every day.
Who is paying you, Guloff?
Oh, I mean, some people, they do payment in like what I like to call like personality. Like I go and I explain to them like, what if there is like big yellow dragon, and then they are like, oh, okay, and that is for me what I could consider like payment for Imagine Dragon.
Okay, so you're being paid in words of affirmation.
I do not know what affirmation, but there's definitely time when people are responding to dragon that is explained or perhaps even drawn upon the road with some sort of like water bottle.
You're drawing, okay. We're getting really far away from the crime at hand here.
He helped me imagine a Komodo dragon, and I paid him with a high five.
You've had an exchange with this man, bailiff?
Naturally enough, you haven't, Judge?
No, I've never met this man before today.
We were all hanging out before he was going up.
Okay, well,
He's got an Etsy page.
He's got an Etsy. Okay, let's focus up here. We've got some visual evidence. Bailiff, are we prepared to take a look at that? Now, Guloff.
Yeah.
We've got some visual evidence here. We're going to display it on the television, and what I need you to do is explain to us what we're seeing and how it relates to this particular case. Let's have a look.
Okay, so this is for many people, this is considered like, there's a place called Queens, and then this guy is like, he's like royalty for the Queens. They are calling him like, he's like, there's like a royal court of Queens, and this is a gentleman who, you know, they are calling him Doug sometimes, but other times they are calling him King.
I see. And this person, my understanding is the character from that show also works as well, not a garbage man, but a person who sort of operates by driving around the city doing their job. Is that another type of person who you would potentially impersonate?
Okay, so yes, on many level, Doug Heffernan is a garbage man, no doubt. But for many across this great nation, he is top clown.
I see, and because of that, he deserves a lot of respect. Would you agree with that?
Oh, he deserves plaudits, and he also deserves recognition.
And would you say that someone of that high degree of respect would maybe be someone you want to emulate?
Oh, for very many reasons, it could be that you might want to look at someone like a Doug Heffernan and say like, oh wow, someday I could be like king, or perhaps even prince of Queens.
And in your pursuit of doing something like that, one might go out and buy, say, the clothes that Doug Heffernan wears.
Okay. Now, I do not even know about store where you could buy Doug Heffernan clothes, but you're gonna have to tell me that one, Judge.
Okay, well, this is a hypothetical situation. I don't know where you buy Doug Heffernan clothes either.
Well, you better tell me.
I don't know.
We'll go with you to that store later, bud.
Guloff, I want to give our jurors an opportunity to ask you some questions directly. I know that they're itching to get to the bottom of a few particular questions here. So I'm going to direct you to our jury's box right over here. Okay, and somebody is objecting, and I'm going to overrule because we do need to allow the jurors to ask their questions. So here's a question. First, I'll read this one, and then I'll let you read the rest.
Thank you.
Guloff, do you ever want to be treated like trash?
Okay, so sometimes you do feel bad and you feel down and there's still self-esteem problem that is happening and you think I am like lower than trash, and you could take me and you could throw me on ground and you could say I step on you, I throw you in can. Sometimes you do want to feel like that, but then there are other times where you feel great. You feel like you are on top of world because everything going your way, and it is like, don't treat me like trash, treat me like a delicious red candy.
Can you describe a time when you felt like you were on top of the world and didn't want to be thrown in the trash?
Okay, so one time I imagined dragon that has like a very big wing, you know. Like, I usually do not imagine dragon with, like, wing that is very big, but in this case, it was that the wing was very large, and I was like, they could, like, fly very high, and I was like, this is going to be very good when it comes to dragons that are imagined.
I see, and that made you feel like you weren't trash.
No, I did not feel like trash. In many ways, I felt like king of Imagine Dragon community.
Now, we're getting a lot of questions related to your job of imagining dragons. I'm going to just give you some rapid fire ones, and you can answer them.
Yeah.
So they want to know what your favorite dragon is, whether or not...
Big.
Okay, big?
Big.
Same here.
Okay, big dragon. Can you imagine 2 dragons at once?
Yeah, but that is going to take a lot of what I like to call mental effort, but often the payoff is quite extraordinary.
And what would you charge for imagining 2 dragons at the same time?
Oh, so for some, it might even be something like you do high five up and then high five down low, but then for others, it just might be a smile and perhaps a word of encouragement to a friend or neighbor.
Okay, well, for those of you at home who are interested in purchasing 2 dragons imagined by Gulaf, now you know the going rate.
Judge, we got a written testimony.
We've got some written testimony now, Gulaf.
Okay.
And thank you for those subscriptions. Please keep them coming. We've got another piece of written testimony. Let's have a look at that. Wow, here's a long one from Goat Vindaloo, who says, when I was a young boy, all I ever wanted to be was a garbage man. My parents told me I could be much more. Gulaf lived a few doors down and took me under his wing.
Unter
His wing.
Thanks for the translation.
Now I have a life-affecting speech impediment and an addiction to meth. Well, Gulaf, how do you respond to that testimony?
Okay, so this is a person who seems like they were living upon the street that I was on when I was living for many years, potentially in Canada, and this is a person who has grown up, perhaps to become like a goat, which in many ways is very magical.
Okay, well, you're not on trial for turning someone into a meth addict, so that is not what we're going to focus the trial on, but it does sort of speak to this whole garbage man thing. Gulaf, we had one question from one of our jurors here that seemed to have scrolled up a little bit, but I think it was, why don't you imagine a tall wife? Now, you seem to have some sort of obsession with the idea of having a very large wife, and yet you spend all of your time imagining big dragons. What's going on with that?
There is you imagine dragon.
No, you imagine dragon.
There are very many people who are sometimes imagining dragon, but I do imagine dragon. You are correct.
But why don't you imagine big wife?
Imagine dragon.
Okay, all right, well, hard to argue with that. I think we did get a piece of visual evidence. Am I right, Bailiff?
Yeah.
All right, let's have a look at that, and then I think we'll give our jurors an opportunity to vote. Here we go. If you wouldn't mind, Gulaf, explaining what it is. What are we looking at here?
So,
what is this?
for very many people, there is a character named Jigsaw who is doing an evil trick to a teenager, among others. But for many people, they do not know that Jigsaw is also someone who can lift weight and become greasy and large. And for me, that is something that, on occasion, I will imagine.
Okay, so not imagining big wives, but ripped, oiled up Jigsaw is on the menu for things that Gulaf might imagine.
For Halloween.
Just for Halloween, okay.
We got jurors asking if we can see that one again.
They want to look at that again?
You were just giving a sneak peek.
We're going to do that for free? All right, I suppose.
I guess I didn't consider that. We know the information. Thank you.
All right, that's all you're getting,
That's
you
for
fucking
accessibility,
sickos. All right, Gulaf.
Yeah?
I gotta say,
yeah?
I feel like I know even less about you than when this started.
Okay.
But we're nearly out of time, and so I do want to give you the opportunity to make some closing remarks before our jurors vote as to your guilt. So, Gulaf, I'm going to give you the floor now. Go ahead and make a closing statement to try to persuade our jurors to vote for your innocence.
Okay, so in 1990, there was game of basketball, and the greatest player was named Michael Jordan, and he was very good, and he played basketball in a way that is like better than like most people who are playing basketball at that time. Some people say forever. And then what happened is Michael Jordan stops playing basketball because he wants to play baseball. He says it is like, it helps him with it, like, he says his father played baseball. He always wanted to play baseball. So he plays baseball for a little bit, but then he comes back to basketball. He is better than ever. The second three-peat of Chicago World.
Well, folks, go ahead and let that closing statement influence you in whatever way it might as to the guilt of our defendant. The poll is now open, and so jurors at home, here is your opportunity. Vote as to, is the nature of this defendant in which he is being discussed of committing a crime being guilty? Of course, your options are, okay, like so, I think he is of being guilty, or the alternative, okay, like he often is doing things, but being guilty in this case is not what he is doing.
What is happening?
Gulof, the jurors are now voting as to whether or not you're guilty of the crime of, what was it again? We so barely talked about it. Impersonating a garbage man.
Oh. Okay.
Did you do it?
No.
Okay. All right.
Do they have laws in democracy where you're from, Gulof?
I'll never tell.
All right, well, that is your right.
You little Dickens, you rascal.
That's your Fifth Amendment right. Now, I think we're ready to close out this poll. And look at that. Wow, first one of the night. Gulof, congratulations. The jurors have voted. The verdict is in. And as to the crime of impersonating a garbage man, the jurors have found you not guilty.
Oh my goodness! This is so. You're telling me that, like, when I was impersonating Garbage Man, now they do not believe that that is what was happening?
Wait, hold on. What did you
say?
say?
That is so cool. Wow! Thank you very much.
Okay.
This is cool.
You got bamboozled, Your Honor.
Son of a bitch. All right.
They pulled the damn wool over our eyes, Judge.
I hate when they do that. I hate when they say they did it right after we say that they're not guilty. But it's not a perfect system. It's the best one that we have. Folks, our first not guilty of the night. And, well, no matter what they say afterward, we're just going to have to believe it. That's how the system works. If you're just joining us, you, of course, are our jurors at home, and you're helping us determine whether or not these sick freaks are guilty, alleged sick freaks, I should say, are guilty of the crimes for which they stand accused. You can submit evidence to display on our TV by joining the Discord. You can call witnesses for $5, or you can submit written testimony, which we've had a lot of great written testimony so far tonight. We just need 9 more subs, folks. 9 more subscriptions, and we'll hit our goal, and you'll get a chance.
9 cups of coffee, you could do something great.
That's right, for the price of a mere 9 cups of coffee. So let's hit that goal. Head on down for some firearm training. It'd be a lot of fun. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for those subs to roll in, which I'm sure they will, let's go ahead.
Judge, we got a written
Boom!
testimony I forgot to mention.
Oh, we had, well, the trial's over,
Well, just take a
bailiff.
look.
Okay, here is some written testimony submitted for the last trial. Dinsdale Piranha said, I knew he was cheating. It was, wait, this is from 2 trials ago. Dinsdale Piranha says, I knew he was cheating. It was Neverlag, wall hacking piece of shit. Okay, well, that piece of testimony would have been great to have read 2 trials ago when Gus Van Sant was on trial for cheating in Fortnite. Unfortunately, we missed that one, but thank you, Dinsdale Piranha, for that submission. Okay. He's still here.
We stuck around.
Well, I suppose we only mime killed him, so he probably is still alive.
Yeah, we mime killed him, but he just took a seat just wanted to hang out.
He's let me play Temple Run on his phone.
Stop that.
People.
That's not allowed. Thank you for the subscription, whomever you might have been. I did not catch your name, but thank you. If you want to submit written testimony for this next trial, go ahead and do that. And now we only need 8 more subs to hit our goal. So let's make that happen. Folks, I forgot what this next defendant stands accused of, and I need your help to remind me. So if you wouldn't mind in the chat, just start listing off some crimes to jog my memory, and we'll figure out what this next defendant stands accused of. Let's see here. What did this person do? It seems like the chat is frozen here on my end, so Bailiff, if you wouldn't mind. Oh, there it goes.
Sorry, I was watching Coco Melon now.
Okay, all right. Can someone take that iPad away from him?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Can I watch Bluey next, please?
Eating too much avocado toast, breeding raccoons, staying up past mom's bedtime, being a bad boy daddy. Now, typically we do take suggestions. Typically we do take suggestions from first-time chatters like Big Bright Ship. But gosh, I just don't know what that means, being a big boy daddy. So maybe keep pitching. Catfishing, donating for Cartman skits. That is a high crime. Stealing babies from candy. Piercing navels without a license, $12 for a hot dog. Big booty prank gone wrong. Okay. Yeah. I'm interested to know what that means. We'll take it. Thank you, Fulu, for that suggestion. Now, we've all seen them on TikTok, on YouTube. These internet pranksters are going around to unsuspecting civilians and doing pranks. Sometimes it's, the old punch an unsuspecting old woman in the face. Sometimes it's that thing where you go on the other side of the aisle at Walmart and you're like throwing stuffed animals over and they don't know what's going on. And sometimes it's big booty prank. But what can be a fun, silly video sometimes gone wrong, and that's exactly what happened to this particular big booty prank and this particular defendant, allegedly. Now, the nature of the exact crime and the incident itself remains to be seen, and we'll be getting to the bottom of that with your help. So let's bring out the defendant. Defendant, please take your place at the podium, and if you wouldn't mind stating your name for the record.
Yes, my name's Nick.
Nick.
Yes?
I'm sorry, I don't know if our bailiff collected your last name when you signed in.
I didn't provide one.
Okay, all right. You're a one-name wonder.
Yeah.
Like
Anonymous.
Cher, or, okay. Nick, do you understand the nature of the crimes for which you stand accused today?
Yes, but I would like for you to describe it to me again.
All right, I can do that. Now, Nick, the crime for which you stand accused is, and I'm sure you're familiar with the concept of big booty prank.
Oh, I love a joke.
Okay, well, now see, this was a particular big booty prank which seemed to have gone wrong.
Well, I mean, it depends. How big can a booty get? That was what I, tried to determine in my pursuit of the prank.
I see. So this was no ordinary big booty prank. This was potentially a record-setting big booty prank.
Well, Judge, I'll answer your query with a query. Have you seen a bigger booty than in the prank that I conducted?
Now, I haven't actually. The evidence has not yet been submitted, and this will be very interesting.
It'll
be very interesting if someone were to submit some visual evidence as to the nature of this particular crime. But in any event, Nick, for those of myself and the jurors who might not have seen the giant booty, could you maybe describe what it would have been that they were looking at?
Oh, may I provide some context first?
Please do.
Okay, so I've always been a bit of a sneak. That's sort of been my primary interest. And so when I learned about the pranking community on the vertical application, I was thrilled.
I'm sorry, on what?
What's it called? Which application?
Well,
I've done a lot of big booty pranks.
I think this particular big booty prank was found on TikTok, but I wasn't sure if it was one of those things where it's like they just kind of posted on everything.
No. I monetized that. Make no mistake.
Got it. Okay.
I've been in the pranking community for a long time. My first hit, maybe you've seen, was on YouTube. I shackled myself to a dumpster for 6 months, and as people would pass, I would just say, "Hey, buddy, will you unshackle me?" I remained there.
And that was the prank? Who is the victim of a prank like that?
Well, I think you have to have a good sense of humor about yourself. And so I was the victim of that particular prank, and it was sort of a performance art kind of endeavor. As time went on, I realized that, that sort of stuff wasn't working for people, and what people really wanted to see was a big old ass with dynamite strapped to it.
Dynamite,
And so-
okay.
Yes.
I'm
exactly.
starting to put together where this big booty prank may have gone wrong.
Well, you light the dynamite, you take a risk. It's a calculated risk, and I think that you'll see in the evidence that we had some waivers, and it doesn't matter if the person with the big ass couldn't read.
So you're saying that, and maybe I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself or
No,
drawing
go ahead.
conclusions where I shouldn't be, but as I seem to be understanding it, you found somebody with a giant ass and strapped a bunch of explosives to them.
They were illiterate.
An illiterate person. You found an illiterate person, had them sign a waiver which they could not understand, and then attached explosives to them.
Well, Judge, they were a close friend of mine, and you didn't mention that. But yes, someone.
Well, you didn't mention that.
Well, he's a good friend of mine, someone I'd known for 20, 30 years.
20 or 30 years.
Yeah.
Wow, a long time illiterate friend.
Long time. Early prankster.
I
Shackled
see.
me to that dumpster.
Okay, well, this is the person who shackled you to the dumpster.
Yeah, we go back.
I see,
Huge
okay.
ass.
An accomplice. All right, well, Nick, we do have some visual evidence here, and I'm eager to see what this might be. So let's have a look at this, and if you wouldn't mind just explaining what it is we're seeing and how it relates to the particular case at hand. And, okay.
Okay, so these are some friends of mine from the pranking community.
Oh, okay.
I think when you're involved in the community as I am, you gotta find gorgeous women who look like cartoon characters that have gigantic asses. And I think Lois and Cashier, they're great examples. I would say that they were witnesses to this prank.
I see. So, am I understanding it right that the idea is if you have attractive people in the video witnessing, reacting to the prank, that drives traffic to the video and increases, I guess, your ad revenue?
Yeah, you're gonna want to find women who have surgically altered themselves to look like anime characters, and then you're gonna want to strap dynamite to their ass.
A big booty anime women. That's our culture hermit, one of our jurors.
So
is-
you're hip, Judge. You get it.
Well, that's culture hermit. Our juror is making sure that enters the record.
Good.
Now, Nick, maybe you can illuminate some of that. And thank you, Sadville. We are going to be bringing a witness to the stand. But before we do that, Nick, could you maybe, for some of us who maybe aren't familiar with prank culture, describe some of your other pranks besides chaining yourself to a dumpster for 6 months and strapping explosives to an illiterate person. Are there any other pranks, and maybe what you do to ensure that these pranks are getting views on social media?
All right, Judge, let me ask you a question. Have you heard of boba?
Boba, that's the little balls.
The little balls, but there's liquid as well, right? And I asked myself, as I was walking down the street one day, passing someone who I had shackled to a dumpster years ago. No one came back for him. I was on my way to the... What? What?
I don't mean... it just sounds like what you're describing is an insane crime.
Can I plead insanity? I would gladly.
Well,
discuss it
technically
as
you're
long
not
as
on trial for that. It's just
Oh,
it
okay.
caught my ear. But I
did
apologize.
that.
I didn't mean to
did
cut
that.
you off. Go
Sorry.
ahead and continue your
Yeah,
story.
I was on my way to the boba shop, and as I was waiting in line, I wondered, could you waterboard someone with this stuff? And could I monetize that on the internet? And Judge, that's exactly what I did. I monetized my friend of 40 years with boba.
I see. Okay, this is the same illiterate person who's...
No, different illiterate person, Judge.
Oh, a different...
I got a lot of friends who can't read.
Well, that's not illegal, Nick, and
It's
you're
not
not on
against
trial
the law.
for
That's
that.
exactly right.
You're allowed to be friends with whomever you like, and frankly, befriending those with learning disabilities
Yeah.
is what some might find to be a particularly noble venture.
Hi, you're
Beneficent.
You're making it sound like a fucking kink, and it's not.
Okay, well,
It's just a friend.
all right. Well, when you start to strap explosives to their ass and waterboard them with boba, jurors might begin to wonder. But Ultimately, we're not done with the trial yet, and so you have a chance to persuade them still. And before you do, we need to get some testimony here from our witness, who I think has just taken the stand. Bailiff, are we prepared to get that testimony?
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed.
All right, let's let this witness please state your name for the record.
It's Dr. Huge Asshole, but I would rather not.
Dr. Jazzhole, what are you doing back here?
I am relevant to this case, Judge.
I can't imagine how you.
I used to be Kyle's dentist. You can't imagine a world where I have clients.
I suppose. I guess I'm just not sure how. Well, I'll let you speak.
I used to be Kyle's dentist, and then they did a epic prank video where they glued my hands to my desk and then kidnapped my daughter while she was.
I'm sorry.
Daycare.
Who's Kyle?
Or what was their Nick?
Oh my God!
Sorry.
You didn't remember me? I kidnapped your daughter, for crying out loud.
I know. I try not to think about you. I try to. Anyway, glued my hands to my desk while I was grabbing. I was like, "Oh, you should take some floss before you go." And I reached for my floss that I keep at the desk. They glued my hands down and then kidnapped my daughter at daycare, and I couldn't do anything because my hands were stuck. They also locked me in the room.
If I may, we also brought his daughter to the door of the dentist's office so she could see his hands stuck to the desk. It was hilarious. 14 million views.
Yes.
14 million views.
Yeah.
And I will say that he got my daughter to sign a waiver, but she was 3 at the time.
She couldn't read.
Yes.
Okay,
so
I gotta
don't think
say
that's fair.
That's how you get him.
No, that's not how you get them. You're not allowed to do that. If someone is not capable of reading what they're signing, then they're not fit to enter a contractual agreement.
That's a matter of opinion, wouldn't
Well,
you say?
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say that's a matter of law. Dr. Jazzhole, is there any other testimony you'd like to add to the record before we let you go?
Just that this person's a menace. They need to be kept off the streets, and they're really good at what they do also.
Okay.
I've started watching their videos now that I'm not in them. I have a much better relationship with them now, actually.
Interesting. Well, pretty damning testimony from Dr. Huge Asshole. Thank you so much, Doctor. You're free to go. Wow. Lots of jurors just entered our courtroom. Welcome, Julie and 275 jurors. You're just in time. This is great because the more jurors, the more justice is what I always say. If you're just joining us,
said that, Your Honor.
I always am saying that. If you're just joining us, my name is Judge Learned Hand, and if you're watching at home, that means that you are a juror in tonight's proceedings. We're in the middle of a trial right now with our defendant here, Nick. Nick stands accused of the crime of big booty prank gone wrong. Now, Nick is something of a professional prankster. They create viral videos where they prank people, but this particular prank might have gone a little bit too far. Nick, do you want to describe the nature of the particular prank which you're accused of doing?
It's my favorite prank thus far. Here's what I did. I found my most illiterate friend. I put all of the complete Sherlock Holmes in front of him. He couldn't read a goddamn word. I said, perfect, turn to the side. And fortunately, he had a gigantic behind. I was thrilled. I went to my cabinet and got all of my dynamite, strapped it to his ass, lit the dynamite, and he, you can watch the video.
You can watch the video. I'm not actually sure if you still can watch the video. I'm pretty sure it was removed for terms of service violations for everything.
You can watch it on certain websites.
Okay. I think it's still up on LiveLeak.
Daily Motion 2, Your Honor.
Daily Motion 2?
Yeah, it's in 4 parts there, but you can watch it.
Okay.
Judge, we got 2 visual evidence.
Now, we've got some visual evidence to take a look at, and if you're a new juror here, you can submit evidence for all of tonight's trials in a variety of ways, one of them being visual evidence that will display on this television right here. If you want to submit visual evidence, join the Everything Now Show Discord. There should be a link in the chat, and you can submit images just like this one. Now, Nick, I'm going to display this evidence on the television, and I need you to explain what it is we're looking at and how it relates to the trial.
I'd love to.
Okay.
Oh, okay. This is a little visual I made myself.
You submitted this evidence.
No, I was assuming someone's a fan of my work and they just sort of wanted to cheer me up. No, that's a little visual I made because that's sort of my dream. My dream is for Jesus to see one of my pranks and say, I saw that. He didn't even need to like it. He just needs to see it. Every view counts.
I see. So you're saying that your artwork, if you want to call it that, or your content is a pursuit to find redemption in Jesus Christ.
Judge, let me ask you this. Would you not say that pranking is a Christ-like thing to do?
I'm not sure that I would. Could you give an example of a prank that Jesus did?
He flipped the table at a mall once when he got all mad, did he not?
Well, I guess I'm not as intimately familiar with the Bible as you are, Nick.
He did. He flipped the table at a mall.
Turning water into wine is pretty goofy, Judge.
Turning water into wine could be a prank if he first gave the water to somebody and they were expecting it to be water, I guess.
Well, look, I'm not here to rank Jesus's pranks from worst to best.
You're right. You're here to defend yourself in the court of law for the crime for which you stand accused, which is, of course, big booty prank gone wrong.
That's right.
Now, we've been kind of dancing around what exactly happened, and we've got some more visual evidence that we're going to take a look at here.
Two more now.
So you've got your illiterate friend. You had them sign a waiver which they couldn't read, presumably stating that they will not hold you liable for any injuries that they were to sustain during.
Oh, plus a bunch of other weird stuff in case they live.
Oh, in case they live.
Yeah.
What could you give us some more details about what were the terms of this release statement?
Just sort of a Sea Org style contract to continue participating in my little pranks.
The Sea Org contract, now famously that's a contract that Scientology forces you to sign so that you'll be in their service for, what is it, a billion years?
It's 10,000 years, I believe.
Okay, well, that's more reasonable.
Yeah, thank you.
So you had this person sign a contract that would continue to be enforced for 10,000 years. Were they to survive the prank, which was, again, what was it, duct taping explosives to their giant ass?
We used some little contact, the things that you use to hang posters in your house. That's how we attach the dynamite to the ass.
What,
and,
a command strips?
It's command strips, that's right.
like with the double-sided Velcro?
Yes, it took a long time, but it looked terrific. People loved it. You couldn't see how it seemed that the dynamite was attached to this man's huge ass as if by magic.
Got it.
Yes.
Right, because the tape would be an eyesore.
So, which is why I object to it, to people saying it was gone wrong. I think in many and most ways, it gone right.
Well, I suppose that's subjective and up to our jurors to determine, but we've got another piece of visual evidence here which may persuade them one way or another. Bailiff, are we prepared to take a look at that?
Sure, I guess.
All right. Let's see here. Now, what is this?
Well, this is, not all pranks go the way you like, right?
That was from a prank?
Yeah, I mean, Judge, I could let you use your imagination, but I'm also happy to tell you what happened.
Well, you know what? As deep as my imagination goes, I can't imagine what a prank of a red onion being held in what appears to be the console of a car might be, so why don't you tell us?
All right, well, the first thing you're going to need for this prank is a lot of rope, right? The second thing you need is a very illiterate person. The third thing, now I know that the onion would appear to be the most important thing. It's actually fairly far down the list. The next thing, you need a car, but not just any car, a car that can't start and can't move. You're going to want to put rocks in the car in case they try to move the car. You tie the person up and you put an onion in their mouth, and then you start playing a top 40 hit, and a lot of people pay for it online. I don't know why.
A lot of people pay for the opportunity, what, to watch that video?
Yeah, it's like some sub-community. I don't kink shame, I'm a judge.
Feels like fetish shit to me, Nick.
And is that against the law, Judge?
No, it is not, Nick.
Thank you.
You've got me there. Well,
All
Nick,
still one more, Judge.
One more what?
Yeah, good.
Visual evidence, and we got a written testimony.
Okay, we've got one more piece of visual evidence, one more piece of written testimony, and then, yeah, and viewers, if you're new here, jurors, if you subscribe, you can submit written testimony just like this. Let's have a look. WStream, which is Jonas Spaz.
All right.
Thank you for that piece of written testimony.
Is that it, is it?
I suppose. I guess it's a matter of perspective as to whether or not that is.
I suppose you needed a W for the entire jury, don't you?
Yeah, you'd probably need a series, at least majority W's from the jurors and one more piece of visual evidence. Let's have a look at that now. Nick, what is it that I'm looking at here?
I'm done with therapy. I need a gun.
Right.
Well, I can really relate with the back half of that statement.
Okay.
So can all the bailiffs for sure.
Yeah, you know, I can't always agree. I don't think I'm done with therapy. I think I've been going to therapy almost every day for about 20 years. And so, you know, and at some point you think you're fixed, you're not fixed. But I do need a gun. And that's what I keep talking about in therapy.
Daily therapy for 20 years.
3 hours.
You must have really good insurance.
Really, all I do is go to therapy and strap dynamite to
illiterate people.
Asses.
We call that doing the work, Judge.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's praxis. Well, Nick, I think we've pretty much figured out your whole vibe.
All right.
It seems like you've definitely established a brand for yourself, for better or worse, online.
Thank you so much.
And now it's up to our jurors to decide your fate. So we're going to pull up a poll here and allow our jurors to vote. But while they're voting, if you want to make any closing remarks, I'll give you the opportunity now.
All right, so here's what I would ask before you decide my fate. If anyone has the video of me strapping with command strips dynamite to my illiterate friend's ass, I'd just really love to watch it. I don't care if it's in jail. I want to watch it over and over.
You don't have it? Didn't you make it?
I didn't. I got water on my hard drive. And so it all kind of blew up. You know, I've been doing pranks for a long time. I have big dreams. I want to keep going. I know an illiterate gynecologist, and I feel like the possibilities are really infinite there. So if you like my work,
Nick,
and you want to support it, I would love to go to the gynecologist's office and shove a bunch of dynamite somewhere.
Okay, well, I was going to ask if money were no object, what would your dream prank be?
Oh, that way, and then strap them into a dumpster.
Got it. Okay. Checking all of the boxes of the classic Nick prank package.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Nick, it seems that our jurors have decided here. Let's go ahead and close out that poll. For the crime of big booty prank gone wrong, our jurors have submitted their verdict, and they have found you guilty.
Ah, well, I guess I never
God
denied
damn it, bailiff, stop with the...
You stop doing the transition before I do it.
I never denied it. I think it's a hilarious prank, and I would love to watch it again.
Okay, Nick, well, you might have quite a bit of time to be watching videos if our jurors decide to put you behind bars, but...
People in jail love pranks.
I suppose that there's a universe where you could take that perspective. Jurors, what is the punishment for our criminal, our convicted prankster?
Thanks.
Replace phone with a BlackBerry? What, so that they can't post their shit online anymore?
Oh, no.
Teach all of his friends how to read. Oh,
No,
that's
don't do that.
that call is coming from inside the house.
No, please don't teach my friends how to read.
End illiteracy, like globally, we just put an end to illiteracy globally. I like that. That seems like a punishment for
There's
Nick.
always going to be babies. You can't get rid of it entirely.
It's a good point. Yeah, and honestly, I don't know if we want... If Nick is going to be pranking illiterate people, I suppose we want them to at least be adults. Mandatory booty reduction, small booty prank. Yeah, something with small booty. I think that's good. Yes, I think what we're gonna do is have your friend with the giant booty have a mandatory booty reduction surgery.
Oh, he lived?
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah,
that's
he
crazy.
lived. It was because his booty was so big that all the explosion actually did not reach any of his vitals.
Well, the joke's on you. I'll just strap smaller dynamite to his smaller ass.
Damn it! Well, we've already decided the punishment, and so I guess I'm just gonna have to ask you to not do that.
Probably gonna do it anyway. But
Shit. All right. Well, Nick, you're now free to go.
All right, see you later.
We're gonna. I guess your punishment is a state mandated surgery for a third party. Okay. Well.
We did it again.
We done it again. Justice has been served, folks.
I feel good.
I guess we have time to do what? A really fast one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what's that?
God damn it.
No, it's
Bailiff.
the next shot.
Okay, there's no one there. There's no one there. Okay. All right.
The difference between.
Okay.
Okay. I don't like this. I really hate it.
Well, then press a button.
Okay. Can we stop that? Folks, we've got time for one more quick trial, and if you were to do 6 gifted subs, gosh, I don't know what we would do. We probably don't have time to do the shooting gallery, but maybe we'll try. Doesn't seem like it's happening though, so
Don't even do it.
honestly, don't even do it. Save your money.
For next show.
Save it for the next one. All right, folks, we've got time for one more trial. What is this next defendant accused of? Gosh, I forgot. Someone please remind me what the next defendant stands accused of. Excessive frog licking, white person dancing, BO, calling cats, eating roasted chicken with chopsticks, hijacking a model train, straight shrimping. Stinking doggy style slam dunks.
Your whole shit off.
Biting your whole shit off.
That's a misdemeanor now.
Yeah, we've actually reduced the crime to a misdemeanor. You can do that 4 times, and then it becomes a felony.
Pick one. We got.
Okay, yeah. You're right.
Go.
We gotta pick one. All right, I am going to take. Thank you. We'll take that one. Putting the toilet paper roll on backwards.
No, shucky ducky crack quacking. Do that one.
What is that?
You know.
That's nothing.
It's wrong.
We're taking first time chatter suggestion, putting the toilet roll on
Shucky
backwards.
ducky crack quacking.
Overruled.
Shucky quack quacking.
Overruled. We're taking the first time chatter suggestion. Thank you, bright, big,
Never let us
bright
have any
ship.
fun.
Putting the toilet paper roll on backwards is what we're taking. Defendant, please take your place at the podium and state your name for the record.
David Jazzy.
Mr. Jazzy, do you understand the crimes for which you stand accused today?
For putting TP on backwards? Honey, I've done that for years.
Okay, well, that's actually a crime. So do you want to reconsider that statement before we add it to the record?
Why would I reconsider? When I moved to the big city, that's what I was gonna do.
Well, Mr. Jazzy, I can't tell you not to admit to the crime, but if you're going to, I'd like to hear a good reason why we shouldn't just skip straight to a guilty verdict and give you your punishment.
Guilty? I wouldn't hear anything like that. I'll tell you what happened. Well, I was coming home from a city block. Maybe it was Madison. I saw I had some chili in my backpack, so I ate some. I had some chili, then I went home. And there was no toilet paper, 'cause my roommate never buys any. And then I put it on myself. And I thought it was the right way.
You put it, well, I'm sorry, when you say you put it on yourself, you mean that you were the one to put it on the holder, or you covered yourself in the toilet paper?
I covered myself in toilet paper and rolled around till all the poop was off.
Jesus Christ.
He's here?
No. Jesus Christ is not here, thankfully. Unless somebody calls him to the stand. Mr. Jazzy, that's fucking disgusting.
What's disgusting is this city and how cleaned up it is. Why, when I first moved here, it was gritty and nasty and dirty and slutty. And now, it's basically Disney Park.
I see, Mr. Jazzy. So what you're saying is that your particular use of toilet paper is something of a political statement, of a protest for what you see as the gentrification of the town that you come to love.
Yeah, whatever. Andy Warhol would have loved it.
And we are going to bring somebody to the witness stand. I have a feeling I know who this may be. But in the meantime, Mr. Jazzy, you say that you cover yourself in toilet paper and roll around
Till all the poop's off me.
Right, till all the poop's
I
off
don't
you.
want one lick of it left.
And please don't use the term one lick of it when describing fecal matter in this courtroom. The visual is already enough.
Shit.
That's right. Now, Mr. Jazzy, are there any other steps that you're taking, actions that you're taking?
Box stepping. Sachets.
Now that's way less disgusting. I was saying things that...
Excuse me.
Do you need to excuse yourself to relieve yourself, Mr. Jazzy?
I had some chili. My stomach's a bit jazzy.
I remember you mentioned that during the musical number.
I had it in my backpack.
Right.
Just a backpack.
Mr. Jazzy, we've got, what was that, written testimony that I saw?
No, we got a witness.
Oh, we've got a witness. Mr. Jazzy, we've got a witness on the stand here who's going to enter some testimony to the record. Witness, if you wouldn't mind, please state your name for the record.
Yeah, my name is Jesus Christ.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
He's here!
Thanks for coming on Yom Kippur, Jesus.
Mr. Christ, are you familiar with the defendant?
He knows. Everyone knows who I am.
Technically, I am to know all of my children, but I gotta say, I need a quick refresher on this gentleman.
Okay, do you want to maybe reintroduce yourself, Jazzy?
Yes, I'm David Jazzy. I was in Cum Chili. I was in...
Say that again?
What was that?
Well, you were in what?
The production of Cum Chili.
Are you saying Cum Chili?
Cum Chili.
Who did you play in Cum Chili?
The Cummer.
Cum Chili?
It's like chili, but with cum.
And this was a stage production?
And he was the comer.
It was on Broadway.
Oh. Cum Chili. Right.
Cum Chili, Cum Chili.
That's one of the songs?
No.
No.
Why am I? You're acting like I'm stupid for that.
What's wrong with you, man?
All right, Jesus.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to add to the record, maybe related to this crime?
Oh yeah, sure. We should kill
Awesome.
this guy.
Transition.
My
That wasn't good
goodness.
enough. Hold on.
Wow.
Whoa! Shit! What the fuck? Okay.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Thanks so much for joining us, folks, for the Everything Now show. We do this 4 nights a week, so come on back.
These
literally
nights.
tomorrow.
This many. These ones. Tomorrow night there'll be another one.
Literally tomorrow.
All right. That's right. If you're new here, folks, we do live interactive comedy on these 4 nights, and it's not always the trial, the courtroom thing. It's all kinds of different stuff. So when you come back tomorrow night, it won't be the courtroom. It will be still live interactive comedy, and you can control it with sound alerts and donations and stuff like that, but also by joining the Discord. So if you haven't already, join the Everything Now Show Discord. You can submit images in all of our show formats, like the evidence on the TV in tonight's episode. Those images were all submitted by you, the viewers at home, and the only way to do that is to join the Discord. So there should be a link in the chat. Do that.
And follow all of our various social media platform pages. There's one in particular that Chris Shalakian would like to tell you about.
Truth Social. We've got a new budding
right.
account on there
Find us.
where we
Find
can
us out
finally
there.
talk what we want to be saying.
Our
can say the real
unguarded,
shit.
our
Hear the
unguarded
truth.
opinions when there aren't a bunch of LA comedy libs in the room.
Yeah,
That's
we can
right.
finally get it out.
We're finally doing
please subscribe to the YouTube. We're a mere 22 away from the big 1,000.
Oh my goodness.
We're very, very
Wow.
close for real now. So
And then
please
we'll have fuck you
subscribe
money.
to the YouTube.
Just
We'll have
subscribe
fuck
to
you
the
money.
you all
YouTube.
just came over from the raid. Just subscribe to the
Just
YouTube.
subscribe
You don't have
to-
to watch the videos. I don't care.
I
Just
care.
Subscribe subscribe to the thing.
Watch the videos.
If even a
link it in
tiny
the chat.
fraction of you decided to do this little thing for us, we're asking you so fucking little, and you're giving us such a hard goddamn time. You're you're really pushing us, huh?
Oh, anyway,
you
we got a
fucking
shirt.
pieces of
We
shit.
also sell this shirt. Yep, that's a link to the YouTube. And we sell this shirt too. And we have it in black as well. So if you type !merch in the chat, you'll find a link to buy the shirt. There's only, I don't know, like what, 30 left? 40
There's
left?
40 left, but there's very few of the black. A
Yeah.
lot of people like the black shirt. I
If you
disagree
want-
with them.
I think the
but
white one's cooler,
me too.
honestly, but they're
The
both
black
pretty
one's
dope.
slimming. Makes you look
Um,
skinnier.
Once those
You
are
got
gone,
such a little time to get that one.
they're gone. It's a limited run. They're limited edition. So once they're sold out, there's no more left. So if you want one, act fast because the sizes are starting to. There's like no more medium.
People are offering to give me therapy. My brain will become normal if you buy our shirts.
That's right.
Really simple.
That's right.
All of us can be fixed by you giving us like a few $100s.
That's
Unlike
right.
care of
Financial
it for
therapy.
all of us.
Thank you to the people who subscribed, and thank you especially to the people who subscribed right at the very end of the show. Sorry we did not get your written testimony, but we really appreciate all of the support from everybody in every way. Seriously, it means so much to us. Anything else?
Unlike every other man in your life, you can fix us, and it takes it's money. That's the solution. Thank you.
True. We're very easy. And also, this episode wouldn't have been as fantastic as it was without our special guests.
Oh, that's right,
In
our
my humble
special
opinion.
guests.
Come on out, everyone.
Come on,
didn't forget your names at all.
Jamie, Joe, and John.
Another Triple J
Just made up.
episode.
Just that
Can't
made.
help ourselves.
Wow.
Stand under the Everything Now Show sign. Look at that. We're plugging your Instagram in the chat so all of our viewers can follow you.
Yeah, we're
links.
plugging that, but do you all have any projects or things you want people to check out? Anything going on, Joe?
Yeah, I have actually have a sketch album coming out on Friday.
Oh,
It's called Funny Songs and Sketches, and for real, Gulof is in 2 tracks on
Yes!
it.
Oh!
For real.
We'll sneak preview.
Yeah, so if you liked Gulof,
Get in there.
Gulof in the cut.
Album tonight. Hell yeah.
That was sick.
Jamie?
I wrote a book about hot dogs. It's called Raw Dog, and you can get it at bookstores.
Do it.
Shouts out bookstores. Remember those?
And me? I have nothing. Follow my Instagram at John Milhiser.
Check them out. Funny videos. There's funny. All 3 of these folks. There's funny stuff.
These
So,
people are funny people.
Keep up
Follow
with them.
them on Instagram. Give them the old Everything Now Show bump. You know.
Make it
and
real.
Give us the Everything Now
Yeah.
Show bump too.
While you're
Give
at
us a
it,
bump to give.
give us
need
some
it.
of that as well.
Follow all this shit. Like Chris said, definitely the YouTube guys. We need to get to 1,000. We're like what, 10 away?
So
We were
close.
22 away.
We were 22
We're now
away.
20 away. We're making
Somebody
Wow.
subs. Get on your mom's Gmail account.
Get on your college email accounts.
That's right.
Please.
Your work email.
The stream seems to have.
Well, perfect timing.
shit the
It's
fan
already
on
over
us.
anyway.
Cool. Maybe we'll rate.
Show's over.
Come on.
Let's see if it works.
It would be right.
Just rate it. Bye.
See you tomorrow for an all-new episode of
See
Everything Now
you.
Show, 7 p.m.
anticlimactic,
Pacific, right
but
here,
good night.
twitch.tv/Everything Now Show. Bye.